Uh, you know, there was a time when I thought video games were the greatest medium that could ever exist. They're interactive, immersive, and they bring an experience like no other. You simply can't get the level of control that you get in a game with a movie or with a TV show or with music or with books. Those dreams died the day Cyberpunk 2077 launched almost 3 years ago in the most pitiful state I have ever seen a game launch in, period. And now here we are, almost 3 years later. CD Projekt Red has crawled out from under the hole they've been hiding since the public embarrassment of releasing a game in the most broken state I have ever seen, more broken and loose than a hooker's pussy. And now they're trying to sell you an expansion pack. Let me ask you this. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me how many goddamn times by promising a product and not delivering, and you have to acknowledge that you are the problem. Listen up, folks. There's hard truths being dropped in this video, truths the size of nuclear warheads. I will not hold back, and if this offends you, if this gets you angry, if it gets you upset, I just want you to know you're part of the problem. Listen, cold, hard fact number one, The Witcher 3 was not nearly as good as it was made out to be. Game of the Year 2015? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Absolutely not. I guarantee you CD Projekt Red paid off the VGAs. The Witcher 3 was at best a 7 out of 10 RPG. They released 2 expansions to The Witcher 3, and they somehow convinced people, like there are actual reviews of these expansions saying, oh my god, CD Projekt Red released an expansion that's actually better than full-blown video games. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Those expansions were garbage. Nobody played them. They didn't sell well, and they were trash. They brought nothing new to the table. And then what happens? Oh, Gwent! We had Gwent to grab the best card game ever. Gwent was fucking garbage. It tried to capitalize on the Hearthstone craze when it came out, and Gwent faltered into obscurity. Meanwhile, Hearthstone's still amazing. I still play it every day because Blizzard's one of the greatest developers of our time. And so then they released this garbage heap known as Cyberpunk 2077. And 2077 is about the number of chances that you idiots have given this company. Phantom Liberty is even worse. I was advanced a review copy. CD Projekt Red said, Dead Metal, we know back in the day you were critical of our product, but we've done better. We want you to review it. We want you to give your people an honest review. Here's my honest review. Phantom Liberty is even worse than the base game Cyberpunk 2077 on a PS4 unpatched. That's my review. This is garbage. First of all, nobody asked for more Keanu Reeves. The world is better with less Keanu Reeves, aka the world is better with less actors who have the emotional range of a piece of dog shit. All right. Matter of fact, the dog shit has more emotional range because it will at least produce different forms. Could be solid, could be runny, could be somewhere in the middle. Keanu Reeves, on the other hand, has one monotone, fake ass bullshit Hollywood A-lister emotion, and I'm tired of hearing of it in these video games. The fact that he shoehorned himself into Cyberpunk 2077 because he wanted the bigger payday is an absolute travesty. But it doesn't stop there. I can't blame Keanu Reeves for the gameplay failures. I can't blame Keanu Reeves for the lackluster story. I can't blame Keanu Reeves for the utter failure that was Cyberpunk 2077 with its generic-ass characters, its weak plot, and oh, your choices matter? No, they fucking don't. There was one choice at the end that mattered, but literally nothing else you did during the course of that game mattered in the end. It was all a facade. It was like the Wizard of Oz. He's behind the screen. It's all smoke and fucking mirrors. Tell me one thing that you did in Cyberpunk 2077 in the first 2/3 of that game that mattered in the end. It didn't. Oh, but you can romance Pan Am. Doesn't fucking matter in the end. Doesn't fucking matter. What's different? One single voice line in the end monologue? Like, come the fuck on. It's so stupid. The game tried to create an emotional ending, and I was laughing. I shit you not. I watched all of the endings on YouTube. I played through, I got my ending, and then I watched the rest of them on YouTube. That was comedy gold. I thought it was dark humor at first. I was laughing my ass off at how emotionally invested they thought the player was. I was more emotionally invested in ejecting the disc from my PlayStation and snapping it in half. At least that gave me an emotional response. Phantom Liberty You see, it's funny. They originally planned 2 DLCs for this trash heap, and they brought it down to 1 because they realized people are wizened up to the fact that they're con artists. They've realized people have wizened up to the fact that CD Projekt Red is not this great herald of RPGs. No, that title, the greatest RPG ever made, will always belong to Lord of the Rings Gollum. What CD Projekt can have is the moniker of the most disgusting company. Between reports of crunch culture, running your devs 80-hour weeks, why the fuck not? Modern day slavery, it's fucking disgusting. The fact that they're still going forward with DLC after it took them 3 years to fix the game, and the game barely holds 30 FPS on last-gen systems as it is right now. They should have taken all the money, all the resources, and all the staff they're putting on Phantom Liberty, and they should have put it on a fucking stable framework for Cyberpunk 2077 on the base hardware of last gen. Don't release your fucking game on hardware that can't run it. It's as simple as that. And Cyberpunk 2077 is not impressive. Ubisoft has been doing open world games on base PS4, base Xbox One hardware for the entire generation. You don't see fucking Far Cry 5 running at 13 FPS on those last gen systems. You don't see Assassin's Creed Valhalla. These are game worlds that are huge, massive, with side quests just as, if not more intricately detailed than Cyberpunk 2077. So what does Phantom Liberty bring? It brings failure, it brings more deceit, and it brings the obvious to light. This is a greedy-ass company that's going to do whatever it can do to dig its greedy little paws into your pockets. They're like little fucking raccoons tapping their fingers together, a sly smirk peeling across their lips as they realize they found another way to milk their fucking audience out of money. They found another way to fill their bank account, add extra zeros off of your dollars. But you know what? Even through this entire rant, I can't blame them. I blame you. Stop feeding them money. Do not buy this DLC. It's not even worth the hard drive space to pirate it. This Phantom Liberty should have been Phantom DLC. It should have never existed. It should have been a ghost, a trace of what was once to be, and a fall from grace from one of the companies that, quite frankly, was never as good as they were made out to be, yet they completely shock and awed the world in December 2020, yet the world has seemingly forgotten. Hashtag I didn't forget, hashtag fuck Cyberpunk, hashtag fuck Phantom Liberty, and hashtag fuck you.